All right, constructing cash offers. Number one, we got to know what the ARV is. That's the after repaired value. What's it going to be worth when it's in excellent condition? What can I prove by market sales that this property is worth when it's done? And then what are the repairs going to cost? If you're out here making offers on houses and you have no idea what the repairs cost, you can imagine how long it's going to be before you're going to a seminar. Even with my knowledge, even with Jay's knowledge, probably 50% of the time or more, the repairs are more than we thought they were. Do not forget Murphy, because he ain't going to forget you, guys and gals. He lives everywhere. Things are going to go wrong. And I've learned over the years to do way more to make sure that I'm closer to what I really believe they are than just take wild guesses at them. Repairs are going to vary from house to house. And as a beginner, you're going to have to protect yourself against stuff you don't know and from people who want to take advantage of you. So we most certainly are going to talk about that today. Okay. And then you got to know the maximum allowable offer, MAO. So I guess we could start with the ARV, couldn't we? When I get you to the event, I'm going to take you online live and we'll do some comps. But today, just remember these three things. You are comparing your subject property to other properties that have sold that meet these three parameters. You're only looking for the top 2 sales. Make that note. You're going to ignore everything else. Remember, your house will be in as good or better condition than any other house in the neighborhood that sold. It is worth every bit as much as the 2 top houses that sold in the same neighborhood. And by the way, you know the 2 top houses were in excellent condition, or they wouldn't be the 2 top houses. Okay. So only 2. And you're going to have to fight like the devil to eliminate all the rest because they had issues, either seller issues or repair issues or whatever. I'm only going to use the top 2, and your appraiser is only going to use the ones that match. And this is what makes them match. Got to be close in proximity. You won't have any problem with that because pretty much any website you go on today, all your comps are right around your subject. Very easy to see they're around your subject because you'll see a map of them as well. And they got to be close in square footage. And that's the real kicker right there that people get all screwed up on. I can't compare a 1,000 square foot house to a 2,000 square foot house. And your value is going to be measured by dollars per square foot. Make a note. Dollars per square foot. So is a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house worth more than a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house the same size? The answer is no. They're worth the exact same dollar because they're both the exact same square footage. Okay, bedrooms don't determine that either. Square footage does. And there's a trap. I got a 1,000 square foot house here, and next door I got a 2,000 square foot house on the same similar lot. Is my lot worth twice as much? No. No matter what I build on it, the lot's worth the same. So I can't just double the size of the value of the lot. So I still have one roof. Yeah. Whether it's 2,000 or 1,000, got one roof about the same size. So I still have one kitchen. Yeah. And economy of scale. Bigger I build, the less it's going to cost to build per square foot. I can't be careful because that's a trap. My 1,000 square foot house, I don't want to measure it against anything more than about 1,300, maybe 1,400 square feet. And again, it's by dollars per square foot, period. So I want to make sure that my square foots, I'm measuring apples to apples. And I can't measure a house here with a house that's 5 miles away, even if it's the exact same house. It will never work. All right. I can have houses here and I can cross a main highway and it'd be half the price or twice the price. So I don't want any major dividers between my comps and my subjects, like water or highways or golf courses. All right. And it's got to be a recent sale. Recent sale, 6 months or less, especially in a hot market. You won't have any, because if you pull up pretty much any site you go to today, they're all going to be close in proximity. They're going to be recent sales, but they're all going to be all across the board on square footage. So it's the square footage you got to pay the most attention to. So you go to the top two, and they should be very similar in dollars per square foot that they sold for. By the way, if they're not, if you got one sold for 150 a square foot, and up here I got one that sold for 275 a square foot, be careful, because there's a problem with a higher one, most likely, because there's something that house doesn't have. And now, so if I see that, I'm going to go look for one that's closer to the one that makes more sense based on what the dollars per square foot are in the rest of the neighborhood, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever. Okay, if I got one that sticks way out, I'm going to just ignore it. So I got one at 150 a square foot, and I got one at 165 a square foot. Those are comps. Okay, so then I'm just going to have to, I'd probably pick a number in the middle, maybe 160, and multiply that times the dollars per square foot, and you got your ARV. What you cannot use is the Zestimate on Zillow or any Zestimate on any website. That's almost never correct. We don't know the logarithm they use. We don't know how they got it. They won't disclose it, but I'm telling you, it's almost always less than the true ARV. That's why you can't use the Zestimate. You got to be able to find the true ARV, and you'll find that it's usually worth more. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they're very close. Sometimes even the Zestimate's even really more than what the ARV is. But remember, they're using all of these things, and they're using some kind of average type formula to add them up. So you can't trust the Zestimate. All right. I can trust the two recent sales, similar to mine. You better not ever use the tax assessed value. The tax assessed value has absolutely nothing to do with the market value of the property. Nothing. Now, I like it when the sellers use the tax assessed value and the Zestimate, because I know they already think that the house is worth more than it really is, usually. Right? That piece of information right there will make or break your business, whether you know it or not, and will certainly get you deals where you would have probably lost and keep you out of traps trying to use too high of a value. Now, I just sold you how to get the ARV, but that's not what I'm going to sell my houses for if I renovate them, okay, or if I at least option them. I'm going to raise it above the ARV, but I can't use my projected sales price for this formula. I got to use the ARV that I can prove. We got questions on that, Nick? Yeah. What'd you say? Okay. All right. Now, for you thinker brains, and you know who you are, analytical personalities, got to have every I dotted, every T crossed, got to have all the information, all the facts before you can make a decision. By the way, if you are one of those, then you're going to have to work on making decisions quicker, or you're going to get clobbered in the marketplace. Because by the time you get through analyzing it, somebody else has already bought it and sold it and got a check. You got to move. You got to move quickly in this business or any other business for that matter, or you're not going to get the deals. You analyze them to death, you're going to lose them. Simple formulas you got to follow. And if you just stick with the rules and not go crazy and make up stuff, you'll keep yourself out of trouble. Especially, understand this. When you put a property under contract, no matter the price, you got due diligence to do before you close. Okay, only a fool will close without verifying their assumptions, which I'm going to give you the checklist in order here. Okay, verify the ARV. You're going to verify the repair cost, and you're going to verify. You're going to get a home inspection, and you're not going to close till you get all that stuff.